See who they carry come church for deliverance. Hey, you did church the rapping, bro. This one don't go far.
Alpha, where am I meeting you? I'm very close already. I'm very close to the bunk. Where will I park? You don't know for a long time?
Man, for a very long time. And Italiano is somebody I know. He came from Italy many years ago. Wow. And as I say, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Somebody that came from, from Yakini. A lot of money. But today now, if you see the guy looks like nobody.
Where in the state?
He lives in Chita there. Does not have a home. He stays in the street.
Thank you. After I use the cocaine now, I will now use heroin to step it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it won't be too high. So let's use the heroin now.
Okay.
Heroin is the one you sniff. You sniff it with that tobacco stuff. It goes deep down immediately. And see now, I'm about to mix it up together. Heroin is the one, the white substance in the brown stuff.
So this is a mixture of heroin and tobacco.
Yes.
Okay.
A mixture of heroin powder and tobacco. Now you sniff it and you get your instant effect. It's highly addictive. Heroin, highly addictive.
Which is highly addictive? The heroin.
Heroin is highly addictive. Tobacco is also addictive. Most of these things are addictive, but the one that is very hard to give up is the heroin, because once you don't take it, you'll be weak all through the day. But once you take it, you're back alive.
Okay, when you try to avoid taking it for the day, it makes you feel very weak.
Very, very weak.
Even when you are healthy, even when you've eaten?
Even when you've eaten everything, you'll be weak, all your joints will be broken down. But immediately you get a tip of it, boom, inside you, boom, you're straightened.
It brings you back
alive.
to be proactive again. Okay, but can we know, what if it's not available? When you don't get to see it to take, how do you feel? Is it something you can bear? Is it something you can move on with your daily life if you don't get to see it to take?
No, that you must look for something that will, help you step it down, which is something like any like diazepam. You know what they call diazepam?
Okay.
Diazepam is like volume 5.
Okay.
It's volume 5. Diazepam works almost the same way. Once you drink 2 tablets of diazepam, that is 10 milligram.
Okay.
Or 3.0, then you'll be back up again like heroin. Yes.
What in a situation where you don't have money to afford the alternatives?
Yeah, that's why it makes a lot of people go into crime, because of money. If they don't see the money to do, they commit one thing or the other. Most of these guys you see there, because they don't have money to get it, they give up their body for it. That's what you see out there now.
Then what about the men?
The men, that's what I'm saying. Also crime and all.
Just to get themselves to feel okay.
But some of us that are lucky, like now have children that are grown up, and some are in Arabia, some are in Europe. They send money to me. I told them not to send big money, because if they send big money, I could smoke and die.
Mm-hmm.
So
tell us more about Italiano. Tell us from the beginning. Italiano, where is he from? Tell us his early days, the journey so far, growing up.
Growing up was here in Lagos. I was born in 1955. So I was 67 years, 3 days back.
Oh, nice.
So, thank God, I grew up in Lagos, passed through schools. The only time I went to school in the East is a primary boarding school in Awamama, owned by B.U. Nzeribe. It's an education project, very large for big people. So all the early children, like I went to school there with the Ironsis, the Mosus, the Jinkonyas, you know.
These are top men.
Top people I went to school with there. So when we all graduated from Santana, some of them went to their own various ways, but I was the only one that led the deluge to Europe. Mainly I traveled to Europe 79. The rest of my guys followed through. So and I lived 28 years in Italy, 5 children, and now I have 9 grandchildren because my last daughter Naomi just gave birth to a set of twins, 2 boys, about 3 months back.
Wow, great.
Yeah,
great.
So right now I am a grandfather at 67. Nice. But we thank God. I passed through school very well. I went to Vatican University in Rome. I studied philosophy, but I specialize more in social psychology. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a BA in philosophy and a master's in social psychology. My testimony is large. I have a tape. My wife just sent to me a tape of my arrest, but it's a micro tape. If I give you that one, you will see how the helicopter came, how Antonio Bignone, the commissioner, was using the megaphone to talk to me. Vieni fuori con le mani alzate. Come outside with your hands up. Abbiamo saputo che sei pericoloso. We know that you're dangerous. Se tu non vieni fuori con le mani alzate, fondiamo la porta. If you don't come out with your hands up, we blow down this door. So when I heard that, I had to come out, raise my hands up. Then now, I saw from there to my gate is about 30 meters walk. I saw some policemen open up their door with their guns, aiming straight towards my place, while Antonio Bignone was coming closer with 4 other officers. When they got close, they now started searching me. I was confident to tell them, io sono pulito, I am clean, I am clean. Then Antonio Bignone, the commissioner, told me, tu pulisci, non è vero, tu devi una lavatrice, you clean, it's not true, we take you to a washing machine. Then now they drove me to their caserma, that is their headquarters, with siren. So when we got to the caserma, they took me in underground. When we went underground, they started drilling me, asking me questions. So when the man was getting too much with the pains he's inflicting me, he tied me on his seat, kept me on top of a staircase and kicked the seat. I started rolling down. I nearly broke all my body. But thank God, I survived that when I got up now shouted and told the man, you are a racist. I must tell the whole world that they already know that you arrested me and took me to this place. Now you're treating me like a fool and a black African. I will tell the world that you're taking Africans like fools and moves. Oh, the man started begging me. He knelt down, said, so he didn't mean that. He said they should untie me. They did. I said, how about the cut? He gave me by the neck. Yeah.
Still very much there.
He gave me
see the scar.
He gave me he was using a pen knife. He pushed the button, the knife flip knife. The thing came out and he put it down on me like that. As he was asking questions, he was drawing it down small. Then the thing was paining me. I couldn't talk anything. The thing now, then blood started flowing through my body, and I told him, look at what you're doing. Are you not a racist? Can you do this kind of thing to a white man? I'll tell the world. The man now begged. I said, begged and begged and begged. I said, okay, he now lose up everything. So, but where they pointed light at my face like this, the people behind, I can't see them, but they see me, but I hear voices. The voices I'm hearing, I can recognize some of them. They ask me, is that the guy? But some of them say yes. Is that the guy? Some say, oh, no, I've not met this one, but he might be one of them. So they kept asking all these questions until the guy they wanted to confirm if I was a man, now came the accent. They say I was the guy, but they should not let me know that he was there. But I heard his voice already, I know he was my friend. So, but in the end, I stayed 8 months in Casarato, that is in the Regina Coeli prisons, 8 months. So when I now got released, they gave me what they call libertà provisoria, liberty and probation. So I should be going to their office every Friday to sign that I'm of a good behavior in my neighborhood. So as now kept asking, I said, okay, if that's what I would do. So they now drove me back to my home, and I signed that I returned home. So as I'm staying at my place, every now and then I'll see different kind of disguises. They are undercover police. They will come open up their bonnet in front of my gate, way down, like they are walking on their motor. But it's somebody. They use what they call static surveillance, mobile surveillance, and undercover surveillance on me. But all those things could not work because they didn't even know when I left my house. So it was fortunate for me that a good friend of mine, Ogwejofor Agbapong, he lived in Reggio Calabria. He now came up to Rome to do some shopping because he was going to Nigeria. So he had to stop over to stay a night with me. So now I told him the problems I'm encountering, that I will have to do something. That I want to leave this place, but the man on the other side of the gate opened up his bonnet, reading newspaper like he was doing some work in his motor. If the guy was for real, he would have carried his motor or call a caratresa to take the motor to mechanical shop. But for him to be here for 2 days means he's working on me. Then the guy said so. So what I did, I went up in my room and turned on my light. So the light in my room was on. I came down to the down floor. Through the back door, I went to my garage, opened up Agbapolong's boot and entered the boot. I opened the boot a little so I can take a breather. Now the guy now came, locked up all my things and brought me back the keys. As he brought up my keys, the light up in my room was still on. So the man that they left to watch over me was looking at the light. Then Agbapolong came and drove the car. We passed the gate, passed the man. The man was busy looking at the light, not knowing that I'm gone. So now he drove me up to the road to Como from Rome. The place they call it Latina. So I stopped at Latina. He now stopped the car, opened the boot, and I came down. As I came down, yes, I know that I was free, and it had no tail. Nobody was tailing us. So luckily for me, some Americans I used to sell marijuana to. Now American Army, AFI, they call them American Forces in Italy, AFI. They live in Monza, and it means I have to pass through Monza on one journey to Lugano. Yeah, Lugano is the border town between Switzerland and Italy. So when those American Army guys saw me, hey, Dr. Mountain screamed, that's Italia, Patricio. They call me Patricio in Italy. That's Patrick. Patricio, where are you coming from? I said, no, I'm on my way to Monza. He said, have you got any little of our thing? I said, the one I have is the one I will use on the road. He said, can we do 1 or 2? I brought my stock of marijuana. I did a whole joint. I gave them. They said, why don't we cut it, put some cigarettes so we can last for us? I said, let's smoke. I still have some stuff. He said, all right. When I got all of them high, they were so happy, and I gave them a little more to take back to their camp. They said they want to buy that stock I have at hand. I said, no, I'm still on my way to Lugano. So what they did was accepted the one I gave to them. Then they kept begging. One of them now gave me $1,000 so I can give me a chunk of it. He gave me $1,000. I gave him a chunk that can make at least 20 sticks of because one stick of Igbo there is $100.
Oh, wow.
Very expensive. So when I gave him a chunk and he gave me $1,000, that one can make him 20 pieces of it. He knows he had a fair bargain from me. He was so happy. So he gave me and I left. So as I was traveling on my way back to Nigeria, I made money. So when I got to Lugano now, it means crossing over to the other side of Lugano, which is Switzerland. Well, this side is Italy. So when I now crossed, over. I bought a ticket that will carry me straight to Zurich. The ticket from Lugano, I entered by bus. Boom, instead of train. Before we know, we were in Zurich. From Zurich now, I bought a ticket. Zurich, Côte d'Ivoire, Kano, Lagos. So now they put us into hotels. So in the morning, I ate very well. After I ate, boom, they called for our flight. Boom. By then we now started boarding. No, cologne is a fragrance for men.
Okay.
And perfume is for women.
Okay.
But the mistakes they make here is that men wear even perfume. If men wear perfume abroad, they will think you are a gay.
A gay. Okay.
But if you wear cologne, they know cologne is for men.
Yes.
So if for men, it's a Sorella Fontana designer cologne. So when I put it on there, oh man, anybody must turn around and say, who's putting on this cologne? Because it's very expensive. A small bottle of it is about $1,200.
Wow.
Small bottle.
It's much money.
Too much money. That's what I was wearing. So when this girl had the cologne, she now gummed to my body and told the man next to me that she wants to stay in between us. And she stayed. So we were talking until she fell asleep onto my arm. I didn't even make a pass at her. She was the one that was doing all the moves and all. So when she laid her head on my shoulder, I said, okay, well, is that the way you want it? So we now flew down. That was how I came to Nigeria in the first place.
Okay, so you made mention of having you had a building in Lagos?
Yeah, that's my father and mother's property. But we inherited that. I am my younger brother. But my son now has bought his own house. His own home in Badagry, right in front of the beach. My first son, the one that is a pilot, he was a Muslim before. He was a Christian before, but when he got to Saudi, he converted to Islam. The man he was working for, he's flying the chief executive of Aramco, Arabian American company. So the man took him to Kaaba. Then he touched the Kaaba. As he touched the Kaaba, when they go home, where he's working, then one of the big bosses there now said, this your pilot has been so constant with you. How long have you had him with you? He said he has been working with him for 18 months. He said, the guy is constant with you. Okay, let me look for a present for him. He gave him a check of $30 million. $30 million they gave my son as a present.
Wow.
Now he bought a home. And he bought a G-Wagon Mercedes, 6 wheels. I've never seen a G-Wagon 6 wheels. And the tires are all white. Have you seen a white tire before?
I've not seen that.
My son has got a G-Wagon, all white interior, all white body, all white tires. So that's 6 tires, G-Wagon Mercedes.
Wow. So tell us so far, what has been the journey getting to Lagos? How did you start it?
From Europe?
Yeah, from Europe. When you get to Lagos, how did you start it from Lagos? Did you try to start up any business? Did you start up any company?
There was so much money. I came, all the money I came with, all in all, was about, if I'm not lying, 56 million naira. I had to use some to bury my mother, do the tombstones of my father. All the people that went to the east to bury my mother with me went on flight. There were 77 in number. I paid their flight bills to and fro. So eventually, after I spent so much money, even the spoons they lost and plates and glasses they lost during the burial ceremony, they made me pay for. At a time when they started asking for the money for spoons that got lost, I broke down. I cried. I said, so Africans can be so wicked. So then I said, okay, if they're being wicked to me, let me be kind to them. What I now do, 13.8 million, I carried it into my boot, and I'll drive into Chita, They will line up. I'll give them, if I give you 2,000 naira, I'll give you a towel. 2,000 naira, a white towel. They will line up, bring their grandmother, grandfather, cousin. I will share for that day. We kept doing this thing, food money every day. We did it for close to 9 months. I added more money to the 13.8 million again. They still they come. I kept giving them, man, what can I do? So, but when I now notice that there's nothing left, what else can I give? Can I give my heart? Nothing. I said, man, there's nothing I can do, there's no money. Even if I ask them, the ones I've given some big money, if I say, give me a little now so I can eat for today. He said, no, I don't have. I said, okay, life is like that. Then I moved in, I started doing car wash. Car wash is what I do now for a living. He knows. Had it been we stayed a little while there, I would have done your car for you.
Okay, so what was the essence of this money you were giving out to them? Were you giving out to them because you wanted to raise a foundation, or were you?
No, I was just being kind to them because people were so hungry now. I can't be eating in the morning like this and people will be looking at me. I was just being kind to them. Kindness, love conquers everything. If not for love, I won't be living up till now.
Okay, so has there been any step? Has there been any decision to try to get some rehabilitation to quit
the drug? That's what we are doing now. What we are working on now. I am my guy that did my documentary. Immediately he sells that documentary, he will now deduct all the money he used for production. Then whatever he sells, the other one at this level, we now share it into two. But every assistant I need since that time, he did the production and all. If I call him, hey, my boss, there's nothing to, he will send some money. Even if I call him with your phone now, he will send some money here. Okay. So that's, but all I know is that as soon as he sells this thing, bam, I'm moving for rehabilitation. Because my son said, and my daughter, Deborah, they said as soon as they come into Nigeria, whether I like it or not, they will bundle me into the airplane and go back to Iran. That the guy I had problem with is long dead, and I'm still here in Nigeria. There is nobody that is looking out for me. Why am I running away from my family and my responsibility? So that my grandchildren are all missing me. They now called the youngest of my grandchildren, Harvey. I've not met him. All of them I've not met them, but that Harvey is my favorite boy out of my grandchildren because he was the one that said, hey, Babu, that's grandfather Babu. Oh, your beards are white. Why is it so? I said, yes, because I'm getting older. So he laughed. I'm so happy. He said, grandfather, I would like to see you. When are you coming back to Rome? I said, I will come soon. So because of all these young children, I have to.
Because they want to reunite with their.
Yes, they want to see me one-on-one. Apart from this thing, we're seeing each other on video call. They don't like it anymore. So my children are now telling me, Deborah and David, they said if they're coming to Nigeria today, stay like 9 days holiday because David is going to have a 9 days vacation. That on the 7th day we are leaving the country, whether I like it or not. So because of that, I want to get my acts together. I'll go soon. It's just the documentary that is holding me.
Okay, that's nice. But has there been any step? Have you been to rehab before? Have you visited before?
Rehab. If you visit a rehab, they will record your name and all, and I want to avoid that because of my future. Politically, I'm a very strong one because social psychology, there's a little bit of political science in it, so I know coups and tricks of politics. So I want to get into politics, so that's why I don't want to go to the rehab and now register my name that I've been at this rehab. What I want to do is as soon as I get the cash, I know what to buy from the pharmacy there. Once I get it, 4 days inside without coming out. Just eat, sleep, and wake up. Shower, eat, sleep, and wake up. 4 days, the whole thing must have gone out of my system. And I will start using this blood tonic. Once I drink the blood tonic, it will clear everything under 8 days. all about rehab. I know a lot of people that jump into it, they die. Dinky, the brother to Babu, died because he jumped into it without taking precautions. So several other guys that I've seen that jumped into rehab, they died because Oscar died. They're uncountable. About 5 to 6 friends that I know, close friends, that we smoke together because they don't know about how to follow the rehab and the system. They gave up ghost because it was too heavy and painful for them. But when you get all your medications together, whenever that body pains come, you take it, then you sleep. Like that diazepam I told you about. Once I take 1 or 2, boom, I sleep. All you need that period of time of rehab, that 4 days, is something to put you to sleep so you don't feel the body pain. So you'll be counting the days 1, 2, 3. On the 4th day, the body pain is gone. So the next thing that will follow is medications to open up your appetite so you cannot eat. So once you start eating normally, before you know it, your body will come out, your color will change and come to your normal color you used to carry before. So that's what we are working on now. I am my boss, Mr. Smith.
For the benefit of some addicts that would like to take some self-medication, just like you said,
yeah.
Instead of going to rehab, what are these drugs you mentioned that they can actually take, be indoor, take some rest, eat, then they will be fine? What are the steps?
Just get a prescription, or they come and write a prescription for them.
Okay.
The prescription, just write it and sign and write either diazepam, one of the drugs, or lexotan, second drug. These are the 2 ones you need. Then any other blood tonic, you need it to support.
Okay, Italiano, what are your regrets so far? What are the things you sit back and then you feel like these are the things you regret so far in life? If had it been there would be a change of this and that.
Okay. Well, in fact, there's no regret because I have children. I have properties I inherited and the ones I made for myself. So I don't have regrets about life. All these things about life is just experience. You don't have to push it too far. Everything is in the hands of the Almighty God. It's not a thing that you say, it's a do or die thing. No regrets. So, Baba, no regret because I'm not the one that made myself. God made me and He has a reason. So why do I have to regret of things I don't know about? It's only God that knows. God knows the best. So if I say I'm regretting anything, I'm not.
So what do you think you can be a word of advice to some other addicts that you may do? Because I believe that you too will not be happy, to see a best friend or a
yeah. So I always tell them. Each time I see them, my friends coming, I will ask them, what did you come to buy? Some say I came to buy loud. Some say I came to buy Scottish. Some look at where I want to see you. Crazy. So some say, okay, some of them that they are hiding it from me, sometimes they will, because they are hiding it from me, they will send somebody. Then when I'm in there, the person they send will come and I'll not ask the person, who sent you? You say, so and so person. Then I say, okay, see. All those ones that hide and do it, they are the ones that get more addicted because they are hiding. But those ones that don't hide, if you give them a word of advice to stop, they always stop. So I always see them from afar when they are coming. I'll move up to them and don't try this. One touch, you're in. I always tell them, one touch, you're in. So some of them listen to me. Some of them that listen to me never got addicted. They just left immediately and never came back again. Many, they never came back again. They said they had it from the grapevine, which is me. The ones that never had me, they are stuck into it now. They are all there, even doing it more than me when I'm withdrawn. I'm withdrawn from it just because I want to see that these things are going. That's why I had to take it. Most of the time now, what made me stop all this coke and shit thing was the new wave, the Colorado thing. That one is easier. If you don't see it, you don't see it. If you see it, you see it. So it's much better for me. So that's what I do now. If I smoke colors, I'll sleep, and I'll wake up, I'll eat. So in order to get what we are doing now real, I had to get in the coke thing, and that's what I just did for you to see how it's done. And I've given you the name. The one that is more addictive is heroin. Cocaine, you can say, I'll give it up, and you give it up. Colorado, you can say, no, I don't need it, you don't need it. But you can never say no to heroin. That one we say no. If you say no to heroin will say no to you until you take it.
Once you are into heroin, there's no going back.
No going back until a serious rehab is taken. The psychological dependence is what you have to defeat. You know what I mean now?
Yes.
Psychological dependence.
Yes.
Is what you have to defeat. Once you defeat the psychological dependence, the practical thing is gone. That's it. So the psychological dependence, I mean, that once it comes into your mind, boom, you say no, I don't need it. So you need a lot of will.
Which is very difficult for anyone.
Willpower.
Yeah.
It takes a strong willpower to say, I've given up today, and it's gone.
So what are you feel the best way to try to give up on this is by speaking up, by trying to speak out when the urge comes?
When the urge comes, say, no, come on, what's all this? I don't need it anymore. Just say to yourself, within you. You don't even do shit.
Because report says that most people that are into hard drugs now, they are the ones that, out of loneliness, out of boredom, when they are so lonely, when they are just on themselves, thoughts start coming in.
Loneliness is part of it. Loneliness is part of it. Loneliness, in short, once you're lonely, and I don't mind the devil's workshop, so they say. So, because just idleness and loneliness, it causes a lot of things for people. So, but I thank God. You know it already. So you can be able to, if you follow the line of rehabilitation with your ideas, you can rehabilitate a lot of people, and NGOs will listen to you because you have a good experience.
What do you have to say to the youth out there, to the generation
the new generation that are now coming up? Please don't do drugs. Drugs can ruin your life. All I'm advising you is don't try at all. Know the type of friends you keep. Your friends will lead you to it. You won't even know. Most girls you see carrying their bags, looking so beautiful, they are all drug addicts. The only time you will find them is in the dead night or wee hours of the morning. That's when they come out to buy their own stock. Or they have a special man, a special person that will deliver whenever they call at their doorstep. So all these things, even if they give up, I won't smoke it today. Because the taxi driver that goes to deliver all the time makes a lot of money. You see the taxi driver picks the telephone and call. Auntie, I say, make I call, make I know how you did today now. The girl will have an urge. Immediately, he notices that the taxi man where they deliver, in Koran. Before you know it, the taxi man will take an order from her, and she will now go
back to her
and start again. So most of the time, if they give it up, it's the person that delivers to them that will bring it back to them. So they will just have to cut out entirely from all those people, or they just leave the city or an environment where they are, where they get it easily. They leave it for that moment, stay for a while outside their environment, and come back a new person. That's the only way they can stop it.
Hi everyone, this is your girl Folake Chidozie. And this is Olaga TV. You all know the slogan, wherever, however, whenever. Una go hear am. Hello junkie, can we talk? Yes, you. Do you know there are steps you haven't taken over the years to help curb your cravings for drugs? Are you aware that like every other normal human being, you too can be free from that addiction and regain your life back? But before that, who is even a junkie? Someone who is addicted to narcotics, and one who has an insatiable interest in something reference to drug addict is a junkie. No matter how you enjoy it, sniff, snort, smoke, or inject into muscle or vein. You see, addiction is really messing our generation and the world at large. But I bring you guys good news today. It is simple. Yes, it is. It is called speak up. Just speak up. So, take a step of freedom today by speaking out to people, and most especially experts that can help you out of that situation. Report says that seeing a therapist is one of the reliable avenues of healing from addiction. So go now and talk to a therapist. They are there for you. Most addiction are born out of boredom and loneliness. Tell someone to tell someone about these challenges if you can't summon the courage to speak up. And trust me, the help you need will come. If you do this, then you have taken a bold step from redeeming your life from this addiction. I still remain your girl, Falake Chidozie, and this is Alaga TV. Till I come your way next time. Thank you.